Hey fam, it's your girl African Export, and welcome to the realest channel on the YT. So I wanted to talk to you guys today. In that meetup video, I kind of mentioned, made mention about my daughter, made a couple of comments, you know, how raising in school and whatnot, it's been drama filled. So I got a couple of responses and some feedback. So I figured, one, I would do or elaborate a little bit about it, and then kind of talk to you guys candidly about my personal situation, and then just lending some support and advice as it relates to me and what I've experienced. So I'm gonna try to lump it all in, sum it all up, not make it boring, and trust it ain't boring. Yeah, so anyway, I would just say that for me, with my daughter, behavioral issues kind of started almost maybe around kindergarten. She did the whole preschool thing. Even in preschool there were issues of biting, but that's something that is common with children of that age group. In preschool, I'm not saying all kids, because you know, sometimes I'll make a statement and then somebody will be like, not me. Well, if it don't relate to you, then I'm not talking about you. But that also doesn't mean that it doesn't affect a large number of people. Anyway, so you know, I'm just saying that let me give you some examples as far as the behavioral issues, and some of you guys can be like, hey man, I can attest to that. You know, violent behavior, tantrums, extreme emotional episodes, breaking down, you know, rages, you know, she's thrown chairs, she's threatened, just the whole nine. Now the thing about it for me is that typically she doesn't, I won't even say typically, she don't exhibit that crap at home, okay? And y'all could probably tell with my face that don't go down here. But at the same time, it's typically with larger groups, like in a school setting, summer camps and things like that. She's had she will almost sometimes create in her mind, oh, people don't like me, they hate me, I wish, you know, things would be better if I wasn't alive. Yeah, it gets deep. So for me, you know, I'm not a professional at all, but I also realize, and I say this to any of you guys out there who, you know, you don't work with children, but you may have children of your own, and you might not even have children of your own. Children who, you know, exhibit certain types of behaviors, you know, very angry, you know, not typically very happy, all these different things that are not your typical, you know, child behavior or attitude. I always keep in mind there's something deeper than that, you know. So needless to say, I was a young mother. I'm not saying that I was abusive or anything like that, but in my mind, it always makes me think back, well, what is there, something that I missed? Is there a time where I wasn't around that I missed? You know, it's all those things that have crossed my mind. And then there's also the element of her absent father, which in so many words pisses me off, because it's not something in my life that I have control over. You know, I had control over it then. That time is over and done with. But at the same time, as a child with only one parent, there is a void. There is something there that just a mother cannot feel, a stepfather cannot feel, and there's this almost pedestal that she puts up there. And one hand, she also used that excuse that her father was in prison to be the excuse as to why her behavior was what it was. Oh, I can't be good. I don't know how to be good. I'm bad because of my father. Psychological damage. So anyway, you know, we're doing, you know, counseling, and this is out of pocket. Okay. You know, in-house counselor at the school. Finding social groups like the Girl Scouts, that, you know, things like that. She doesn't easily relate or make friends very easily. I mean, it's just, it's hard, you know. I'm not gonna say she's very intelligent. That's one of the things that I don't worry about. Academically, she's top notch, but the social development is a little bit behind. And so knowing the pressures of adolescence and young people, and knowing how your social achievements, your social interactions, your friendships, your bonds that you should be creating, if that's not there, or that social acceptance is not there, that can then lead to a lot of rough experiences in a child's life. So I just say this to my mothers out there, because a lot of us are probably not with you know, another half. A lot of us are single out there. You gotta have support. And trust me, I'll be the first to say it. Tantrums and all that shit, I'm sorry. I was like, I thought this was only white people and they kids. I'm just keeping it real. That may sound prejudiced rate. I'm just saying, when I see kids breaking down in the supermarket and hitting their mama back, I'm like, oh, hell to the no. I wish she would. Now, I'm not saying my daughter falls out and does that to me, but at the same time, there are elements of her behavior that are contrary to what I know that she knows better. She knows right from wrong. It's not like she can't comprehend. So there is a sense of embarrassment when your child is not achieving or doing what you feel like you've taught them best to. In some ways, there's that sense of failure. What have I lacked? What could I have done? What am I missing? As a mother, you always think of, oh, well, what did I not do? What could I have done? You can only do your best, ladies. And at the same time, that's why we need to have, this goes for everybody, we all need to have a positive network of people that are going to support us in our time of need, people who are going to advise us in a way that's going to uplift us, people that are also going to shed a positive influence on our children. You know, it's deep. Okay, we need that. I don't care if it's YouTube, you know, your church family, your family, your extended family, through friendships, mentorships, however you're going to get it. Raising kids is not a job that is designed to be done by yourself, and a lot of us are doing it by ourselves, and we need our help, and our children need us. So the thing that also I want to mention is that for me, in my daughter's situation, is that she definitely can interpret, you know, and she has these feelings like, oh, this teacher doesn't like me, they hate me, they don't like me. And I think sometimes as children, they don't have a voice of their own. They don't have someone that's an advocate for them. And as the parent, we have to be their advocate. And sometimes you're like, well, a teacher says this, I'm going to, you know, believe what the teacher says. But at the same time, you also need to listen to your children. If your children, you know, I'm just saying, I'm blessed that my daughter can communicate very well and let me know what the problem is, and I have to be able to decipher and discern, okay, let me dig a little bit deeper, or okay, I know my child, let me go up to the school. You have to be up at that school, ladies, because my mom told me this: once that door closes, you don't know what that teacher's doing. You don't know what that teacher's saying. And if your child is going to any kind of public school, unless you live in a wonderful area, that's, hey. So anyway, behavioral issues with our kids. I mean, it's a trip, but I mean, it all stems from greater issues that we need to help. We need to help work out. We need to support our children, because at the end of the day, whatever issues that they're having now, you should still have the goal to raise a greatness. You know what I'm saying? My child is going to be great. Now, this is just a little hurdle. I'm not going to let this damage her future career. And when I say career, I don't necessarily mean what her job is going to be when she's 30, but her academic career, because with behavioral and emotional and all these other type of issues, they affect all of the opportunities that could be given to your kid, and that's not something that we want. So I mean, it's very important. Mothers, I mean, we're a network within ourselves, and we need to support one another. And for the ladies out there who don't have children, you know, you can lend the support that you feel is necessary as well. You might not be able to relate, but at the same time, you know, hey, you got time. Give that sister of yours who has a child or whatever a break. Some of the best, you know, birth control I've ever had seen, not for me, but you know, hey, take on another person's kid, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, I think I'll wait about 5 more years. Yeah. But anyway, I kind of drifted off the subject matter. You guys can add what you want, comment, video, response if you want. But yeah, you know, my daughter's definitely a work in progress, and the thing that I see and that I know our children respond to is, you know, is a positive environment, a positive tone, which is something that I have to work on. I'm gonna keep it real. I can be very critical. I can focus on your mistake easily, and more easily than I can sometimes acknowledge you doing something good. And that, you know, I think that sometimes when you want the best, sometimes you can overlook those small triumphs, and that's definitely something that I struggle with, and that is something that I would advise and suggest for all of the women out there who have children, to build your children up. And sometimes I think indirectly we can sometimes tear them down when they need that positivity, they need that encouragement, they need that you know, not even soft-spoken, but they need that positive, you know, reassurance that they are wonderful, they are great as they are, they could be whatever it is that they want to be, they do a great job, they make you happy. All those things build stronger little girls and little boys. So anyway, you know, I float when I do my little real talk to you guys one-on-one, or however many of you guys are out there. So anyway, like I said, do a video response if you like. Yeah, it's real close up. Satin scarf. Anyway, so you guys know I will be emailing any of you guys who did send me an email regarding the meetup in New York City. Once the details are solidified, you will be getting the mass email no later than Friday. So I am definitely looking forward to kicking it with you. So if you are not 21, yeah, you can come to the flea market, but after that, I don't know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys real soon. Until next time, keep it real. Bye.